So Elvis obviously knew that. He must have liked that picture because it's right there where he would have walked past it every night.
Even presidents have been turned away. Millions of visitors flock to Graceland every year, hoping to get closer to the king of rock and roll. But there's one part of Elvis Presley's mansion no one dares ask about. Tucked away behind locked doors is the mysterious upstairs, his private sanctuary, left untouched since the day he died. What could possibly be hidden that's so secret, so personal, it's remained sealed for nearly 5 decades? Graceland isn't just a mansion. It's a cultural monument, a glittering window into the life of Elvis Presley. Yet what keeps visitors talking isn't what they see, it's what they can't. A mansion steeped in history and mystery. You've heard of the White House, but what if I told you the second most visited home in America isn't a political powerhouse? It's the palace of a rock and roll king. Graceland, perched in Memphis, Tennessee, isn't just a mansion, it's a legend. Stretching across 14 acres of southern land, this lavish estate draws in nearly 500,000 visitors every year. They come not just to look, but to feel something, to step inside the world of Elvis Presley. From the moment you cross the threshold, time rolls back. The house isn't frozen in the past, it lives in it. You'll find shag carpets, stained glass peacocks, mirrored ceilings, and the famous jungle room with its green shag floors and Polynesian flair. It's not your typical celebrity home. It's outrageous, bold, and unapologetically Elvis. But the decor is only part of the story. Tucked in the back of the estate lies the meditation garden. It's peaceful, still, a sharp contrast to the energy pulsing through the house. This is where Elvis was finally laid to rest. After multiple break-in attempts at his original burial site, his father Vernon made a drastic decision. Elvis and his mother Gladys were moved here, behind Graceland's gates. Later, Elvis's grandmother Minnie May, his daughter Lisa Marie Presley, and her son Benjamin Keogh would join him. It's a somber space, beautiful but heavy. And yet, even among the mourning and the marble, the biggest mystery of Graceland isn't what's in the garden. It's what's above the first floor. Because somewhere behind the walls, up a staircase no tourist is allowed to climb, is a place locked since the moment Elvis left this world. Untouched, unchanged, off limits for nearly 50 years. And what lies behind that door? That's where things get strange. The forbidden floor. Graceland's best-kept secret. There's one unbreakable rule at Graceland. Don't go upstairs. You can tour the mansion, browse Elvis's gold records, sit in his custom jets, and even peek into the famous jungle room. But when it comes to the second floor, forget it. That space is locked down tighter than a vault. And it has been since 1977. Not for safety reasons, not because it's under construction, but because it's sacred. The upstairs is where Elvis Presley was found that morning. Since then, not a single tourist has stepped beyond the barrier. There are no official photos, no videos, no descriptions. Even former presidents, like Bill Clinton, were politely turned away. That kind of secrecy raises eyebrows. Why that much protection? During Elvis's life, the upstairs was his world. A hidden retreat where the man behind the fame could finally breathe. It was the only space where he wasn't performing, where the noise of fame couldn't reach him. Staff followed strict orders. If you weren't invited up, you didn't go. Period. That boundary didn't disappear when he died. It became permanent. The Presley family chose not just to honor his privacy, but to preserve it. The upstairs is exactly as he left it. Clothes in the closet, records by the bed, a TV still in place across from his favorite chair. It's not just untouched, it's frozen in time. But here's where things get strange. The secrecy isn't just about grief or privacy anymore. Fans believe there's more to it, something deeper, something the public was never meant to see. And the theories? They're wild. Because what some people believe is up there would change everything. Where the king took his final breath. The upstairs of Graceland isn't just where Elvis lived. It's where his story ended. On the morning of August 16, 1977, Elvis Presley was discovered unresponsive on the bathroom floor, just feet from his bed. His girlfriend, Ginger Alden, was the one who found him. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but there was nothing they could do. The king of rock and roll was gone. At just 42 years old, the official report cited a heart attack, but almost immediately, rumors began to swirl. Speculation pointed to the weight of his fame, the stress he carried, and his heavy reliance on prescription meds. Fans started connecting dots. Theories began popping up in tabloids. The public wanted to know what really happened in those final hours. But while the world searched for answers, the Presley family made a different choice. They sealed the entire second floor. Not one item moved. Not a drawer opened. His bed remained made. His books untouched. Even the television across from his chair was left exactly as he last watched it. It wasn't a cleanup. It was preservation. Not to hide something. Not out of embarrassment, but to honor the weight of that space. Because that bathroom wasn't just a room. It was where a cultural icon took his final breath. And they didn't want it to become a spectacle. Turning it into a tourist attraction might have satisfied curiosity, but it would have cheapened the legacy. It would have turned a home into a haunted house, a shrine into a sideshow. Instead, the family kept the focus where it belonged, on the life Elvis lived downstairs, not the tragedy that unfolded upstairs. So while millions of fans tour the bright, bold, unforgettable world of Elvis below, the second floor remains sealed. Quiet, still, waiting, and what's behind that locked door? Well, that's the part no one's been able to answer. Not yet. Who has seen behind the locked doors? Almost no one gets past that staircase, but the few who have? They've only made the mystery harder to ignore. One of the most famous exceptions is actor Nicolas Cage, a lifelong Elvis fanatic who once called the king his greatest inspiration. During his short-lived marriage to Lisa Marie Presley, Cage was granted something millions could only dream of: a private glimpse into Elvis's locked upstairs sanctuary. No guides, no cameras, no distractions, just quiet. Cage later called the experience surreal, haunting, deeply emotional, but when asked what he saw up there, he's never said a word. Not in interviews, not in memoirs, nothing. The silence itself has become part of the myth. If it was just a normal bedroom, why stay so tight-lipped? Then there's the strange tale of Chewy Thompson, a social media influencer with no fame pedigree, no Presley bloodline, and no Hollywood connections. On what should have been an ordinary Graceland tour, Chewy claimed he was discreetly approached by a man dressed as staff. The man leaned in, whispered something, and without explanation, Chewy was pulled aside and led away from the crowd. He was escorted upstairs under tight watch. 2 guards flanked him. The air, he said, felt different, like walking into something not meant to be seen. Doors creaked open slowly. Curtains were pulled aside with eerie care. And what he saw? He won't talk about it. Not a word. Not online. Not even when pressed. Which only makes things weirder. Why him? Why someone with no clear reason to be granted such access? Was it a mistake? A calculated move? Or could there be a connection nobody's uncovered yet? And what happened next would send fans and conspiracy theorists into a frenzy. Rumors, descendants, and strange sounds. Chewy Thompson's unexpected trip upstairs wasn't just unusual, it lit a firestorm online. Almost immediately, rumors exploded. Some claimed Thompson wasn't just lucky. He was chosen. According to online theorists, his access wasn't random at all. They believe he might be more than just a visitor, possibly even an unacknowledged member of the Presley bloodline. It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. For decades, whispers have followed Elvis, rumors that he fathered children outside his marriage. Women from across the country have come forward with stories, timelines, and even supposed DNA connections. Most were dismissed. Some vanished entirely. But Thompson's silent access to the most private space in Graceland, that raised eyebrows. And then it got weirder. Multiple tourists have reported hearing strange sounds coming from the upstairs, footsteps, voices, even laughter, when no one was supposed to be there. One witness described it as a private gathering, but claimed there was no way anyone could have been inside at the time. Others said it sounded like a family reunion, or a ceremony. Cameras don't catch anything. Staff refuse to comment, but the stories keep surfacing. Could the upstairs be hiding more than memorabilia? Could it hold the truth about hidden family ties, or something even more explosive? Whatever's going on, those who've been inside haven't shared a single detail. Whether it's respect, fear, or something deeper. Their silence speaks volumes. But even that silence, it might be hiding something darker. The King's Refuge and the shadow it cast. To really understand why the upstairs matters, you have to understand him. Elvis wasn't just a superstar, he was a paradox. A man adored by millions, yet fiercely protective of his privacy. Fame followed him everywhere, but upstairs? That was where the noise stopped. That was where he escaped it all. He lived on his own terms. Nights often turned into mornings as he stayed up reading spiritual texts, binge-watching TV, or quietly strumming his guitar. He was a night owl in a house designed for daylight. His bedroom wasn't just a place to crash, it was his fortress. The room was tailored to his exact comfort. A custom-built bed. His favorite records always nearby. Shelves lined with books, everything from philosophy to religion. And a button by the bedside wired straight to the kitchen. One push, and his staff would bring peanut butter and banana sandwiches, sodas, or whatever snack the king wanted at 3 a.m. It wasn't extravagant just for show, it was personal. Every detail had meaning, and yet, this sanctuary of comfort became the scene of his final moments. That alone gives the room a weight most of us can't comprehend. It's not just a space, it's a story. One with a beginning, middle, and heartbreaking end. That's why the Presley family won't let it become a tourist attraction. It's not meant for flash photography or casual curiosity. It's meant to stay sacred, because once you let the world in, you risk letting the legend be rewritten. And what they're protecting isn't just a room, it's what's left of the real Elvis. But just when you think the mystery stops there, it gets even deeper. A locked door, a living legacy. Graceland is more than just a house. It's a heartbeat frozen in time. A living monument to a man who didn't just perform music, he transformed it. Every year, fans from every corner of the world make the journey to Memphis, not just to see where Elvis lived, but to connect with something deeper. They want to feel it, to walk the same shag carpet, to stand in the same kitchen, to breathe the same air the king once breathed. And yet, through all the gold records and glittering jumpsuits, one thing continues to pull at people's curiosity: the upstairs. That locked floor has become the ultimate enigma. It's not just a room, it's a capsule of 1977, sealed like a time vault. The Presley family didn't just preserve it, they protected it with fierce loyalty. Because behind that door isn't just memorabilia. It's the man, the soul, the truth. Elvis's entire life was lived under a microscope. But upstairs, that was the one place no one could touch. And even in death, his family made sure that boundary stayed intact. To this day, no official footage exists, no photographs, no virtual tours, and honestly, maybe that's for the best. Because in a world obsessed with exposing everything, some things deserve to stay hidden. That locked floor is more than a space. It's a symbol of reverence, of restraint, of remembrance. And while we may never know what secrets lie behind that final door, the silence surrounding it has become part of the legend itself. Elvis may have left the building, but what he left behind still echoes through it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.